Oh, it took a little bit longer to go live. I was like, oh no, we're crashing out.
But I don't want to crash out.
We're not crashing out because we're excited today because it's Double or Nothing Day. And welcome to Wrestling Made Me Cry. My name is Kiley.
And I'm Auntie Collins.
And this is going to be a fun time. You know why? Because it's Double or Nothing Day.
Look at you.
Yeah. This shirt is from Double or Nothing 2021. It was the first Double or Nothing after the pandemic. Or it was during the pandemic, but when restrictions were somewhat lifted.
Right.
And it was such a great time. And listen, okay, I've been looking for these people for literally, this was 2021, 4 years. There were two people that sat in front of me at Double or Nothing. And we became such good friends. And we were like walking out, and in like the hustle and bustle of people leaving Daly's place, I lost to them. And I haven't been able to find them since. I've tried so hard to find them. But I'll let you guys know if I eventually end up finding them.
One day, we'll come back together. Maybe in 5 more years.
Yeah, we'll invite them on the show. We'll do like an interview. They were so nice because we were cheering for Pac, and we were like the only people in Daly's place cheering for him.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, what are you doing? This is so stupid. Why are you cheering for him? Because he was a heel then. He was the bastard. Well, he's a heel now, but not really. And we were all just going nuts for him. So, yeah, Double or Nothing, fond memories. I love Daly's place too. But
it's a magical place. Well, it is Double or Nothing Day. This is Wrestling Made Me Cry. Get in your super chats. We'll be able to read your comments on air. I'm so stoked for today's events because guess what? It is a wrestling-packed weekend.
Yes.
If you can't tell, my voice is a little bit hoarse. Not because of anything that I wanted, but mostly because last night it infuriated me.
Oh. Infuriated.
Yeah, there was no collision last night. So I just screamed for 2 hours while Peacock was on and another wrestling show was on.
Oh. You know what I did last night? I watched 911 on Hulu. And I ate banana bread, and that was my Saturday.
I was about to ask you, tell me about this 8-year banana bread weight in bread. I can't even read. Tell me about it. Did you make this banana bread?
No, my sister made the banana bread. So my sister and I, we both order our groceries. We have them delivered. We're not grocery shopping people, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She gets her groceries delivered, and they gave her double the bananas that she had ordered. Because she's a smoothie person, so she needs bananas. But they had given her double. So, like, obviously, she's not going to eat that many bananas. So she made banana bread. And it was so good. And I've just eaten so much banana bread.
So interesting that you say something about bananas, because I am the type of person that there is a 3-day window on bananas. So I always try to just get like 3 or 4 bananas. I am also a grocery delivery person, and they gave me like 8 bananas.
Oh. What'd you do with them?
And so I turned it into a frozen dog treat.
Okay, period.
Right? You put a little bit of peanut butter, you put a little rolled oats, you make it into little balls, like little tiny guys. Put them in the freezer for a couple hours. They absolutely love them.
Well, I'm so glad they liked them. Mm-hmm. See, but it was a blessing in disguise. You needed 8 bananas because...
And they're not that expensive. And if you worked in a grocery store, PLU 9011 is basically every fruit. But I didn't tell you that. I didn't tell you that. Anyways, my shirt today is Mercedes Moné because I don't think she's winning. But I feel like she needs the support.
She needs the support. I don't think she's winning either.
I just don't have a Jamie Hayter shirt. I can't believe after all this time, I don't have a Jamie Hayter shirt.
I don't think I do either. I have a Sasha Banks shirt.
I also have a Sasha Banks shirt. Out of all the women's wrestlers, because I have almost like every Effie shirt, and that's because he's my favorite. But out of all the wrestlers, Becky Lynch used to be my favorite because it was like every shirt that came out, I was like, I need it, I need it, I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's been surpassed by the one and only Mercedes Moné, because I have 2 Sasha Banks shirts. I have 2 Mercedes shirts when she was doing New Japan stuff with that specific flame hair. Yeah. And I have this shirt that I got mailed for, remember when she was doing the QR code thing?
Yeah.
I won one of those, which it was like a surprise, like you win. I was like, oh, okay. And then I got she has a shirt that looks like Sailor Moon, but it's Mercedes.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
And I it's one of my favorite bedtime shirts. It's a bedtime shirt because I splattered bleach on it when I was cleaning. So, and it's also like a 2X, so it's like a dress on me. So, but
I love Mercedes.
I do too.
I think the women's wrestler I have the most shirts of is Julia Hart. I have several Julia Hart shirts.
I just got her newest one, by the way. Yeah. It's really, really cool.
Julia has great shirts. Who I feel like someone else just came out with a new shirt and I really liked it. It might have been Toni. I don't remember.
There are a couple shirts for Chris Statlander right now that I really, really want. That they look really cool. So, but all in all, please support your local wrestler. Right now, there is a Double or Nothing sale. So if there is a shirt or jacket or I don't know, I see this Kenny Omega, and it's so good.
Kenny Omega has great merch.
He does. I also have a lot of Kenny Omega merch.
I have a lot of Kenny Omega merch
and Kenny Omega.
Yeah. I think I have a lot of FTR shirts. I have a lot of New Day shirts. I think those are probably the biggest collections that I have. Aside from like I have a what are they, like event specific shirts for like all the AEW shows I've been to. So besides that, I think it's FTR.
Sky Blue has a new shirt. I would love this Speedball shirt.
Oh, that's so good.
How great is that? Sorry, this is not a
this is not an ad. We are not sponsored, not an ad. We're just excited about Double or Nothing, so we're
yeah.
We're having
I also want this Will Ospreay shirt.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm. So honestly, shout out to all the artists that they've hired lately. I would love to like just do a spam of their work so that you can get their stuff. Love the new Hangman stuff. Love everything that's going on in AEW merch. It seems to be getting better. Let's hope. But have you only been to one Double or Nothing, or have you been to multiple?
No. I've been to 3 Double or Nothings.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my favorite was 2021 because like the energy in the building, it was a lot of people who had just lived through lockdown. And so the way Daly's Place was before that was you had to buy if you were going to go to AEW, you had to buy a group of seats and they were like polka dotted, like spread out throughout Daly's Place.
Right.
But the seating was limited for this Double or Nothing, but there was like everybody was in the seats, like you could talk to people, all that kind of stuff. You could go buy snacks, like merch was open, things that hadn't been open before. So I think like that psychologically like it makes that Double or Nothing super important to me. Like we were obviously all still masked. We were obviously like hand sanitizer was everywhere. Everybody was being safe, that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It just felt like we made it through. Like we made it through the dark, and now we're like slowly getting back into like real life. And so that to me was probably the best. I do remember I was watching like where my seat was. I could see past the ring and then into like where the sunset is. And it was Hangman and Brian Cage, and Hangman went up to do something like a dive or something to Brian Cage, and the sunset was behind him. And I just remember thinking, like, wow, we freaking did it, y'all. We did it.
We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe. Now, I think that was also the Double or Nothing. So where Daly's place is, there's a stadium nearby. I think that was one of the times they've been at Daly's where fireworks went off on that stadium. Because like where I mean, there's not a whole lot in Jacksonville, but if you've been to Jacksonville, Daly's place, it's like, here's Daly's place, here's like the art museum, here's the stadium, there's like a soccer thing. But yeah, 2021, which it was on, let me see, it says on the shirt, it was on May 30th, 2021. So almost exactly 4 years ago.
That's crazy. I've never been to a Double or Nothing. I've always been to all-ins and all-outs.
Yeah.
That seems to be the only time of the year I get to get out.
I've been to 3 Double or Nothings. I've been to a lot of all-outs because my friends always end up going to all-out. So, of course, I've been to like 2 Full Gears. What's the other one? Revolution.
Yeah.
2 Revolutions, I think.
Look at you, Kylie.
I know, I'm a world traveler.
Look at you. I host a lot of events in my home. So
yeah.
We cater to different audiences. But with that said, we do have a show that we want to talk about our feelings, talk about our predictions, and what it means going forward.
Yes.
How excited are you out of 10?
A 10, a 12.
Yeah.
A 15. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Double or Nothing, like in its own bubble for that show, because like the card is insane. But I'm even more excited because I can see little points in the show where they're setting up things for All In, and I'm so excited for All In. And so it really does feel like this pay-per-view cycle, or this year, I guess, for AEW has been really, really smooth. From like, what's their World's End? World's End.
Yeah, World's End is yeah.
It's been so super smooth, and I'm so excited. There's been a little bit of controversy about people's predictions for this show.
I know. I saw the girlies fighting online, and I went, "Wait a minute, are we not all on the same timeline? Or have we not been watching the same show?"
I thought everybody was on the same page, and then I go on Blue Sky yesterday, and we are not on the same page.
We are not.
I
want to know, who do you think is returning tonight?
Returning?
Any returns or debuts?
Okay, here's the thing. I would love to see Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
I would lose my mind. I think
Why would they introduce Gabe Kidd if Eddie's not coming?
Right? That's my thought process too. Because he's literally like 1-for-1, like the perfect rival in this like Mox and Eddie Kingston saga of the last few years.
Right.
And it's been enough time, numbers-wise. Like, obviously, I don't know a lot about his recovery, his like personal stuff, but numbers-wise, it's been enough time. And it would be crazy. Imagine Anarchy in the arena, and Gabe Kidd is over there like doing Gabe Kidd nasty stuff, and Eddie, he can like show up, just walk on camera. I would lose my mind. Every brain cell would explode.
Yeah. Reprise his role with the gas can. I would lose my ever-living mind.
It'd be crazy, right? But it would be perfect. It's like the perfect time for him to come back. And the thing is, even if he's not 100% ready to have a match right now, I feel like they could still bring him back and have him be part of this story while, you know, the pieces are falling into place and he's getting better and all that stuff. So I feel like it would just be the perfect way to end the night with Eddie back. People have missed him. This is like his bread and butter. We missed him in the original like Team AEW versus EVP story. That story would have been so much better if Eddie had been there, but
I know. I miss him for personal reasons because I am an Eddie Kingston fan, so to speak. I feel like there are some OG people who have been Eddie Kingston fans since the beginning, partner, you know?
Yeah.
So seeing him healthy, doing well, coming back, doing what he loves, and just fighting, like, give me a fight, you know?
And you just know that they would cut the camera to Mox, and Mox would be like terrified. Oh,
Yeah.
it'd be so good.
It would be so good.
In terms of other returns, like, I don't know. There's no one else that I'm really like all that excited apart from Eddie to see. I did see that Bryan Danielson is in Arizona, so it'd be nice. I don't think he's going to be involved in anything, mind you, but it would be nice for him just to get an appearance from him, something. Put him on commentary during Nigel's match. That'd be fun. Something like that.
I know that they have a home in Scottsdale, so
which is not that far. Because last night they were in Glendale.
Mm-hmm.
Which I did look at a map of Arizona. I cannot lie. But I cannot lie. Well, I've never been to Arizona. I've been to Vegas, which is not even really Nevada. But Eddie would just be like top 10. They've been teasing Tekla, who is signed.
Oh.
I think. Or
right, she's signed. There's been the little...
Yeah. And
although the first time I saw it, I went, oh my God, a spider on TV. And my husband goes, where? No.
Where?
He was like, he is fully ready to like...
He's like, I'm going to get this spider.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it. No, I'm excited for that because obviously Mina is now officially All Elite. Mina Shirakawa.
Whoa!
Which this match with Toni Storm is going to be next level, but we'll get into it. So I'm probably that debut because I think that Double or Nothing in terms of like creative and returns and all this kind of stuff, that's always been kind of their like bread and butter show because they've always had this long stretch of summer with all these shows, which All Out not in Hoffman Estates this year. Crazy.
Yeah, that is wild. I mean, I think another great home for wrestling is in Toronto.
Yes.
However, it's weird, especially since they're doing that long stay residency.
Yeah.
Wait, right? It's like a couple weeks.
Yeah. I think.
Wait,
it's a lot of shows.
There's a lot of shows that are going to be there. Maybe not long stay, because I think the other long stay that they're doing is in Philadelphia.
Yes.
But
so I think I'm excited for it.
I'm a fan of because it reminds me of the 2020 era of every week it being at Dailies,
which was really rough. Like Jacksonville in general was really rough during the pandemic. I don't know if any of you guys were able to go to any of those shows, but it was AEW pulling off those shows as well as they did was a miracle. Let me tell you. But where was I going with that? AEW mixing it up and not having Double or Nothing in Vegas, moving all out, moving all in, Forbidden Doors all over the place. I'm here for it because I think if we get out of this rut where like we have these shows that it absolutely has to be at the Now Arena or it absolutely has to be in Vegas, you can open it up to fresh markets and it kind of makes the shows feel more special in a way. Because it's like, if you move them around, then you build hype for, when's the city going to be announced? Where's it going to be? What are we going to do? Which is why Revolution always has so much hype behind it, because it's in North Carolina, it's here, it's there. So I'm excited. I think Arizona, from what I've seen, because I have some friends who are there, it's like people are so hyped for it. And I'm so ready. I'm so excited for this stupid show. I am expecting top tier wrestling, of course, but also like all the frills and the ruffles and like all the stuff that makes AEW. I'm just excited that AEW's back.
I think that's a thing that people miss, especially when there's competitive brands, right? AEW versus WWE.
Yeah.
And I feel that people forget that AEW was never meant to be the equal competitor, similar to WWF and WCW, where WCW really wanted to beat WWF. And I get the comparison.
Mm-hmm.
However, AEW has always wanted to be the alternative.
Yes.
I don't think that they want to be equal. I think it would be great,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a David and Goliath scenario. There is
Yeah.
absolutely no winning when you have a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate and you're just this little tiny AEW promotion, which I say little tiny, and it's like it's backed by a billionaire, a billionaire family. But I think that they've always wanted to be the alternative, and I think that you can see that with the talent that they bring in, the types of matches that they have, and the booking decisions. You can see that even with these small arena shows. These have been my favorite Dynamite and Collision episodes because they are in these unique venues.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never thought to put it in, specifically like the one in Kentucky. It was like, this is a really unique venue. I was looking up the history of it and just knowing that, like, oh, okay, they're not wasting their time and money and energy trying to promote into these larger markets and these arena shows. They really want to make something that looks cool, feels cool, and is different. That's what an alternative is. So I think they did get lost a little bit in the sauce in 2023 and 2024 because they were trying to figure out life post brawl-in type thing. However, I'm excited about AEW again. And not only do we have the teasing of Tekla coming in, we have this teasing of Adam Copeland returning. His name was in the mouth of a lot of people this week. And as someone, I know that he's not a young chicken, but you know that the end story is him and Christian tagging together and getting those tag titles.
Yeah. The child in me is screaming for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Edge and Christian, like, I was little when Edge and Christian were a tag team, and I thought they were so cool.
Yeah.
I loved them. And then obviously I loved Edge, when he was a single star. Well, if he was a bad guy, I was booing Edge. Mm-hmm. But Adam Copeland coming back, I don't know. So FTR is currently in a feud with Nigel McGuinness and Toni Schiavone.
Do you want to start there?
Yeah, let's start there since we have this nice segue. So it's FTR, and then it's Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia because Toni Schiavone can't wrestle. But let's be real, the real feud is Toni Schiavone. And so I don't know where Christian fits in with this because I picked FTR to win.
Okay.
So I'm assuming they're going to do some kind of beat down with Nigel and probably Toni Schiavone and probably Daniel Garcia and Daddy Magic and everybody else who comes to save them. And I'm assuming if Adam Copeland comes back, this will be where it is and he'll make the save. Christian has been in this weird stasis, I guess, where like the patriarchy is kind of not doing anything, but he's building this feud with Nick Wayne. And
right. And Nick Wayne is off in Japan right now in the Super Juniors. So
yeah. And so I don't know what's going to happen there.
I don't know.
Because Mother Wayne is like, she's also showing signs that she's ready to move on from Christian. Kip Sabian, he's just there for a good time, apparently. He has no opinion on this Christian Nick Wayne thing. So I'm anticipating that Adam Copeland is going to make like overtures to Christian over the coming weeks and months and try to get him on his side, maybe for something for All In FTR versus Copeland and Christian, perhaps.
I would die. I would be passed out in a seat.
Yeah, I would not survive it. I wouldn't even be able to make it to Omega Okada. Because otherwise I would just be dead on the ground.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that's where we're going to be going, and then Nick Wayne can come back, and we can do Kip Sabian, Nick Wayne, maybe something like that. I don't know, but it's gotta be, because you can't just say, okay, Christian, you're now a good guy after this Nick Wayne thing, because we haven't resolved that. Because Christian is saying, hey, Nick, you only have that title because of me. So really, it's my title. And so, I don't know. I don't know how you, like, square this circle. Because obviously, Adam Copeland is going to come back with a vengeance against FTR.
Right.
So, I don't know.
So I think introducing Stokely, because remember a few months ago, Stokely was watching those tapes. Watching tapes of tag team wrestlers, watching these matches to study tape. And we know that Stokely is a very good heelish bollocks manager. You know, he did his best in NXT. He did what he could with Jade. And I think that we are seeing a resurgence of that managerial role, which I love a manager as someone who has existed in that role. It's a really great role and a great asset to a team. It's not to say that FTR can't speak for themselves, but I love an advocate. I love an advocate storyline. I think that heel tag teams are guaranteed the win if they have a heel manager. That's just kind of like, for me, the rule of wrestling matches. So, but this is the thing. I don't think that, well, if we want to protect the TNT title, which we haven't really seen, no one has the TNT. Never mind. Daniel Garcia, I forgot who the TNT champion is.
Adam Cole.
It's Adam Cole.
Yeah, who's in a trios match.
I totally forgot about that. Never mind that doesn't come through. Nigel McGuinness, I'm going to cry in the ring. Absolutely. However, since his return, he hasn't won a match. I don't think that his point to be doing matches in AEW is to win them. However, I think he might eat the pin tonight.
Perhaps. I agree. Because I think Daniel Garcia, especially because Daddy Magic is, like, involved in this, in, like, a not a manager role, but like a supporter role. He's besties. I think, I don't know where you go with Daniel Garcia after this, because Adam Cole is part of the Paragon, which
I didn't know what the Paragon meant. What is a Paragon?
I don't know. What is a Paragon?
It sounds like a shape, but it's not. It
sounds like you know when people say Oregon instead of Oregon? Okay, so
yes, I do. It's the same people that say Washington.
Yes,
Washington. There's no R. What are you doing? Okay.
So, Merriam-Webster says that Paragon is a model of excellence or perfection.
Call them the excellence. What are we doing here?
Yeah, Paragon is so bad. It sounds like a spice. Like, okay, add a teaspoon of Paragon. The Paragon!
See, I just think it sounds like a shape, and I failed geometry, so
you could tell me that, oh, that is a Paragon, and I'd be like, okay, because like it goes like octagon, nonagon, dodecahedron,
parallelogram.
Yeah, you could. It's such a dumb
pentagram, paragon. Yeah, Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, all these weird Greek words. Yeah, nobody knows what that means. Okay, so how do you go from Undisputed Era, great name,
absolutely,
Undisputed Kingdom, a little wishy-washy,
homage to their ROH faction,
solid, to Paragon. And AEW has had some bad faction names, I can't lie, but this might be the worst one. I hate it.
Hey,
I was getting
it's no
my
Nightmare
dad
Collective.
Double or Nothing predictions because he loves to do his wrestling pay-per-view predictions. And he was like, "Yeah, it makes you look like a nerd. You're a nerd." But
Yeah.
especially when you have like the Hurt Syndicate and the Elite
Mhm.
and the Death Riders. I don't know. But anyway, let's talk Paragon Don Callis family. Because
So
I
we are
don't
in
care.
agreement that FTR is winning.
Yes.
Perfect.
We both picked FTR.
Perfect. Okay. So we have, yeah. Go ahead. Go.
So okay, I don't care about this match. I picked Paragon. I picked Paragon to win because I feel like they're a solid trio, and I think that if we build Adam Cole versus probably Kyle Fletcher in the match, we can have a good TNT title match from that. And I think the Don Callis family, and I say this every time we do wrestling predictions, they need an L. Like they need to take a major L and something needs to happen. Because I'm supposed to believe that all these guys in the Don Callis family, I mean, Josh Alexander, he's kind of new, so maybe not. I'm supposed to believe that Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita fully trust Don Callis and nothing. They've both taken massive L's lately. And are they not?
I'm going to tell you something. I disagree. Because Josh Alexander needs to seem like a big deal, a big threat.
Yeah.
Just like Takeshita is a big threat, just like Kyle Fletcher is a big threat. I think because Adam Cole hasn't had a TNT title defense, he's had one match up against Claudio at Spring Breakthrough. Okay.
Mhm.
But that wasn't it was for the TNT title.
I think it was.
Okay, never mind.
Remember.
I'm a liar. Okay.
Maybe it wasn't, and I just assumed it was. I don't know.
But I think he needs to start going through, because I think Kyle Fletcher, great TNT opponent. Josh Alexander, great TNT opponent. Takeshita, great TNT opponent. I think the Don Callis family has to win here so that we can get to Adam Cole being pissed and getting some banger matches to revive this TNT championship.
I wouldn't be mad about it. My only thought is like, one, I think that the Paragon are a more united trio, and I think like for the trios division, that's important.
Oh yeah.
Which still exists.
I forgot.
Then, yeah,
the Ops just hold it.
The Death Riders had the titles for like 50 years. And now the Ops are in Anarchy in the Arena. But anyway, I think Josh Alexander, because Adam Cole is a bad guy, I think you need a baby face. I think Josh Alexander, you can spin him out of the Don Callis family with the loss into a baby face.
I don't like the idea of new wrestlers coming in and only being baby faces, because Kevin Knight, babyface. Speedball, babyface.
But AEW needs them. They have so many bad guys.
I think that some new guys can be bad guys.
Yeah. I don't know.
I just love bad guys.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking about the roster because like Ricochet is a bad guy.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking about the bad guys. Who are the bad guys? Who are the bad guys? Potential bad guys on the roster. I guess you would count Hurt Syndicate as bad guys, but they're kind of. With MJF.
Yeah.
But on their own. Maybe. I don't know. This match is just kind of there. Like I don't.
It's a storytelling to something else. They're building to something else. I want to see Josh Alexander versus Adam Cole. That's my number one. I want to see Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher, even though I feel like Kyle Fletcher is going to murder him. I feel like all of the members
Oh yeah.
of
They're like twice the size.
Yeah. They're all going to kill him. But I think that his bond with Kyle Fletcher and Roderick Strong is enough that they would, trudge through.
Yeah.
However,
yeah,
I still am on the train of wanting Adam Cole to fight his friends. Like,
I don't know,
but I don't think that that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know what this version of Adam Cole is. Like, because he does the MJF thing. He comes back. He beats Daniel Garcia for the TNT title. And now it's like, here's Adam Cole in the Paragon. But they have no identity. They're just the same thing they were before with a new name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously he's a heel. We know that. But I don't know, because Kyle O'Reilly and Josh Alexander in this match are going to do some insane stuff. And he's going to get cheered. Kyle O'Reilly always gets cheered. And so I don't know. Like, this match is so weird and out of place to me. It feels like it should have been a TNT title match. Put Adam Cole up there with a good wrestler, have a banger. You don't need a whole story to do it. And it'd be fine. But we got like no explanation really for what happened to the Kingdom. Daniel Garcia, we really got no resolution to the Adam Cole thing because he lost the title and then Daniel Garcia like dipped. He said, I'm going to go do this FTR thing. So I don't know. We got like obviously the Donkhouse family, they were in the Owen. Two of them were in the Owen. Josh Alexander. And well, all of them were in the Owen. Takeshita was in the Owen, right? Yeah. Takeshita was in the Owen. I'm right. Yeah. And so obviously they were doing that. So maybe it's just to get them on the card. I don't know. But this match just like, because if you look at the rest of the card, they all make, I mean, Hart Syndicate versus Sons of Texas. We'll get to that. We'll get there.
Am I going to scream?
I have so many thoughts about this.
So many thoughts.
Let's move on to it because I have to say it. What?
I feel like Tony Khan hears the word Texas and he goes, Dustin's from Texas. Because guess what's going to happen? MJF is going to cost the Hurt Syndicate somehow here. And the Sons of Texas will collect another belt. That is the only reason. Like, why else? Why else would they have him here?
Why is Sammy Guevara in a suit all the time? And Dustin isn't.
It's a thing that's on Ring of Honor. The thing that pisses me off about Ring of Honor is that our titles are never on the show. The show itself is just AEW Dark. And I think that AEW has an ROH problem.
Yeah.
I am in the process of writing an article right now about this. I'm waiting until after Double or Nothing to post it. But it's the fact that AEW got such an excitement for buying this catalog. And now they have to do something with this investment. Right?
Yeah.
However, their idea of this investment is booking. And there's nothing wrong with getting local talent to get them showcased, spotted, lighted, whatever. But it is not rewarding your fan base. It is not giving us anything. It's not it really is not rewarding your weekly watcher week after week after week. It's what they're doing is literally going, we will have some dark matches week after week, but the only thing that you need to care about is our pay-per-views that we've already canceled one. But we'll push the Super Card of Honor to a venue that only has a couple thousand in there. Tickets you can't even buy. But they are slowly killing the people who actually watch it, and it's behind a freaking paywall.
Yeah. And then they bring in the Sons of Texas to AWTV with like no preamble. They're just here.
Right.
And obviously, you know, Sammy had that fun, whatever, $100,000 stipulation match, whatever they call it now. And they're like, hi, here's Sammy Guevara. He's back. And now here we have the Hurt Syndicate, who are in this story with MJF, which in my opinion is ass. Just, I hate everything about it. And they're like, okay, the Sons of Texas, the Hurt Syndicate haven't really had, because they, in their title reign, they haven't had like a big opponent.
Right.
Like, I mean big as in like a serious opponent, because obviously they wrestled Big Bill and it doesn't get bigger than Big Bill. And so here's this, is it going to be a good match? Yeah, I'm going to get a kick out of Bobby Lashley catching Sammy Guevara and throwing him. Like, it's going to be
I'm going to love it.
But I don't know where we go from here, because like I picked the Hurt Syndicate to win because in my head we're going to do an FTR Hurt Syndicate thing. And in my head, MJF and FTR having that Pinnacle connection is going to be a factor.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how. I'm trying to put the pieces together, but I love the Hurt Syndicate. I don't love the MJF part of it. And so I'm like trying to logic my way into getting MJF out. I'm like, how
do we get him out of here?
How do we get him out? Because now he's in.
I just want to see him speared by Bobby Lashley. Like, that's all I want.
He's going to get speared by Bobby Lashley, and you're going to see his soul like leave his body and bounce back. Like, you know, in the cartoons where there's like, that's what it's going to be. Because I still firmly believe that MVP is playing the long game here.
Yeah.
That MJF thinks he's screwing MVP, but MVP is screwing MJF. I still think that's what's going on here. He's going to outsmart MJF. And we're going to get, you know, probably Bobby Lashley in the world title picture or something like that.
Do you think that there is potential for Cedric Alexander
here, like at Double or Nothing?
Yeah.
I think there's potential for Cedric Alexander in AEW because obviously he has the connection with the Hurt Syndicate, the Hurt Business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you bring him in here though, because the Sons of Texas are such like an unserious opponent for the Hurt Syndicate. So like if you bring him in, it has to be because he can't come in and make a save. He can't come in and just like help with the beat down because like Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin need to bring in a friend for this beatdown. It's going to have to be like MVP saying, here's our newest recruit. We're expanding our numbers. And then maybe we can build Cedric and MJF, like some kind of jealousy angle. I don't know. I just don't. MJF being here throws such a wrench into the works because anything you do for the Hurt Syndicate now, you have to account for MJF. Like he has to have a role because and he's been open about it. Like he talks to Hangman about like, I'm doing this thing with the Hurt Syndicate. I'm going to get the world title. Like it's not a secret that he's trying to do something here.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what you do. I don't know Texas, either. I'm like, I guess maybe they don't want to give the Hurt Syndicate a serious opponent yet because you want them to stay looking strong. And if you throw FTR at them or you throw like the Young Bucks or, you know, one of these more established tag teams, then you kind of have to give these other opponents a lot. But Sons of Texas, I mean, it's going to be fine, but Sammy Guevara is going to get beat. Like he's going to get his ass beat by Bobby Lashley.
I don't know why, because if you've been watching Ring of Honor week after week, they've been reheating nachos, if you've ever heard of that saying, with MXM, doing this belt stealing. They've done it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just have the Sons of Texas beat them down.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we've been doing this since December. We've been doing this since December. It is May. And I'm not saying that they haven't been on weekly television, but there are other tag teams that are far more worthy to have the attention of the Ring of Honor tag titles and the Ring of Honor trios. Can you hear that?
Yeah, is that wind chimes?
No, it's the wash.
Oh, your washing's done.
I was not expecting that.
They're cheering you on. They said, yeah, pop off.
My train of thought, all of a sudden the caboose just went off the station. But anyways, I think that AEW's Ring of Honor problem is the fact that Nick Wayne has a title belt and he's not even on TV.
Yeah. Well, it also, so MXM got added to the AEW roster page. So
they were supposed to be Ring of Honor exclusive.
Now they're not. Now they're AEW.
And now they're not.
And so maybe they make an appearance here. And now we get Hurt Syndicate MXM, which would be a great time. I would be sure. But you bring in the Hurt Syndicate. They have a dominant run. They win the titles.
Mm-hmm.
Their entire gimmick is that they hurt people and they're getting fed like softballs. And that's not an insult to Sons of Texas or Big Bill or Brian Keith or like all, or, the Guns, all these opponents.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just like popping up and they're like, hi, I want to wrestle the Hurt Syndicate. It's not anything serious. Like, I think, and I said this earlier, but I think they're keeping them warm for FTR. But we could do fun stuff in the interim.
Like, that's the thing. It's like FTR is clearly one of the best tag teams that AEW has to offer.
Yeah.
And they are not in the tag team
sphere. They're in a feud with Toni Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness.
Right.
And Daniel Garcia is just a proxy to this, if we're being real.
But so
that's crazy. Yes. And I think I'm willing to trust the process because, like we said earlier, Christian Copeland FTR, like I think that is an end game scenario for us. And then Christian Copeland beat FTR for the titles. Like I think that's end game. But what are we doing?
I don't know.
And like MXM, I really enjoyed. Like they're obviously a comedy act. They're obviously like goofy, but I think they're a lot of fun. And I think that if they did something with Hurt Syndicate, it would be a good time.
Right.
I think, but my friend Kyle was in the chat and he says, hello, happy Double Nothing Day. Sending you both positive vibes as always, just for Kiley. Happy Kenny Omega gets to wrestle on our screens day. I'm so excited. Thank you, Kyle. We're going to get to Kenny Omega. We're saving Anarchy in the Arena for last because
it's going to be a lot.
But I don't know. The tag division is kind of like, I don't want to say floundering because I think the Hurt Syndicate are good champions, but I don't know. This Sons of Texas thing, it feels like it came out of nowhere and it feels like, but I also wanted to talk about this. Big Man Dog says, I guess it's because FTR and Hurt Syndicate are both heels. So like the Hurt Syndicate are heels, like they are bad guys, but I feel like they're heels in name only. Like they get cheered.
They're so over.
Yes.
People. We hurt people.
Yeah. They get cheered. People love them. They like, so I don't know. Like the FTR are like proper heels. Like they get booed. People don't like them. Dax picks up a microphone and people are like, shut up, bald man. Like they and so I don't know. Because I feel like the only other teams that are in the tag division that are ready to challenge Hurt Syndicate are the Young Bucks and the Death Riders. And neither of them.
And I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't want that. Unless you reach like deep into your bag of tricks and you like pull out like Butcher and the Blade or something. And you're like, surprise!
They don't have active
Or Dark
contracts
Order.
anymore.
We had a rare Dark Order appearance.
Okay. Okay, this last week on Ring of Honor, right? You have a tag team called the Frat House. The Frat House. That's where they've put Preston Vance. Is in a tag team called the Frat House.
Why did he leave Dark Order to begin with?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows why. He went to LFI.
Yeah.
And then people got hurt, and then he was in Limbo Land. And I get it. Give Preston Vance so much stuff. He looks incredible. This man, I would lust over. But like, the Frat House had a tag match against the remaining members of the Dark Order. And Preston Vance wasn't even in the match. And you know what he did? He cheated to win. He interfered with the match behind the ref's back.
Of course he did.
Do you think I want to watch that week after week on Ring of Honor? No.
And like, we still have Private Party, which in my ideal world, Private Party beats Hurt Syndicate. But I don't think I've given up hope on that because they seem dead set on this FTR thing, which I don't mind. It's whatever. But Private Party, MXM, and Hurt Syndicate, like a tag trio situation, like 3-way tag, that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, we can do fun stuff, but Sons of Texas. Okay.
I want to shout out on my Blue Sky because I posted to hype up the show. Mm-hmm. At 5:55 this morning, my dog wakes me up. Archer, little baby Archer, wakes me up by standing on my hair and my head subsequently to wake me up, which is like the time that I'm usually getting up during the week. But he woke me up this week. And I just want to say thank you, Quentin, for saying that you would die for Archer. So
yeah, I would die for Archer. Archer is the MVP.
I mean, look at this little guy. Look at him. Just always has a little snaggle tooth, looking like Dobby. Not to be dramatic, but
not to be dramatic. I feel like we've been nothing but dramatic this whole show. And listen, we've talked about like 3 matches.
I know.
Okay. Another match that I'm like, okay, Ricochet, Mark Briscoe.
I knew you were gonna say that. It's a stretcher match.
It's a stretcher match for no reason. Neither of these guys. I mean, I guess Mark Briscoe, like, he suits the stretcher match.
Ricochet has been beating the shit out of people with one leg. I mean,
yes. Yeah. And Ricochet keeps getting slapped on his bald head, which I love.
I love this.
I love, mind you. But this is a stretcher match for no reason other than it's fun. It's a good time, and I'm here for it. I picked Ricochet because I think, I don't know why I picked Ricochet. I'm going to be real.
So his match against Zach Allen, I really do have to say it was a fun match. His match against Anthony Bowens on Dynamite was so great. And I was like, how have we not seen Anthony Bowens versus Ricochet yet? It was a great match. I want them to reprise that. That's great. So Mark Briscoe has defeated Ricochet before, twice now. So what are the rule of thirds in wrestling? Ricochet's going to win. Yeah. However, Mark Briscoe is not just going to lay down, he's going to give him a fight.
Yeah.
And it's a stretcher match. So you have to get them on the stretcher and into an ambulance.
Yeah.
This is going to have so much shenanigans. So fun.
I need thumbtacks all over Ricochet's bald head. Thumbtacks or like something. Like, you have to do something with the bald head. I don't know what it would be.
Yes. Absolutely.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it. And here's the thing. Mark Briscoe will do anything.
Yeah.
I think he's proven in his career that he's up for anything, no matter what. And so I expect there to be some crazy spots, some insane stuff, which we don't normally see from Ricochet. And so
we don't normally see crazy spots from Ricochet.
Not like super bloody stuff.
Oh, you mean bloody? I was thinking
like not like flips and stuff like
flips. I want to see where this match and the Speedball match is where it's like, I just want to know what are they going to jump off of, you know?
Yeah. The ambulance, probably. Speedball Okada is going to be a good match fundamentally because those two cannot have a bad match. They just they're both great wrestlers. It's going to be a fun time. But you're right in that these two singles matches are here just for good vibes. Like right. I don't expect anything monumental to come out of either of these matches. I think Speedball Okada is there simply because Okada's not going to wrestle Anarchy in the arena again.
No.
Okada's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
So these matches are here just for fun and good vibes. But I kind of like that because some other stuff on the card is like super heavy. Like Ospreay, Hangman, Moné, Hayter, like these are like super heavy matches. So I'm here for just a fun time, good vibes. Mark Briscoe always makes me happy. I hear Mark Briscoe's music and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Never lets me down. But I picked Ricochet for this match because I think Ricochet needs a win. And I think it'd be so funny if he's laughing maniacally like he does and the crowd is booing him and Mark Briscoe's in the ambulance. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be great. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's gonna it's not gonna steal the evening, but I think it's going to be a great placeholder between what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because like I said, like there's some stuff on this card that's like more intense than this Ricochet Mark Briscoe match. Speedball Okada. I have Okada because Omega Okada, which sucks because I love Speedball.
I love Speedball, right?
Like a lot of fun stuff in their run. When Speedball's been here for like what? A couple months, 3 months, 4 months, something like that, something along those lines.
Not 4 months.
When
after Revolution?
When was that? I don't remember.
Oh wait, was it at Revolution where he had his first?
I don't
PPV
remember
match. Time is not real.
Time is not real. It feels like it's been 50 years.
And
it's because Speedball's done everything.
April, thank you very much. Thank you, Mike.
2 months. But it sucks. I don't see Okada losing until Omega.
Yeah.
But this is going to be fun. And Speedball is going to do fun stuff. Okada's going to do fun stuff. They're going to have a good match. I don't know where you go with Speedball from there, but I don't think that's like the point of the match is building a story for Speedball. I think it's here just to have Speedball versus Okada have a great match and show the crowd that Speedball is a great wrestler. And that's that. So a different purpose than Ricochet Mark Briscoe, but fun nonetheless. Right. It's going to be fun. We can have fun.
I like fun. I think Speedball is one of those wrestlers that you go, this is a once in a lifetime kind of wrestler.
Yes.
Are they the most winningest wrestler? Probably not. They should be. But are they going to make it a good time? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think it speaks volumes to how much stock AEW is putting in Speedball. To have this match with Okada and have that Omega match. And they've constantly put them against, like AEW's constantly put them against really good opponents. And they've like Speedball has had a great showing. Like a lot of really memorable stuff. So I think the future for Speedball is a lot brighter than this current moment, which is still really bright. Like imagine we're in like the Home Depot lighting aisle, right? And
we're taking it to Home Depot here.
Yeah, we're in the and at the end is like a really, really bright like floodlight. We're not at the floodlight yet. Like that's title winning stuff. But Speedball's slowly making their way through.
And that's how you build a wrestler. Come on.
Because Kevin Knight is in the same spot. Ricochet is in the same spot. Daniel Garcia is in the same spot. We're getting there. And that's like, that to me is what AEW has really been missing for 2023 and 2024 is like filling in these holes and these gaps. Because you have the undercard guys, but they weren't doing a good job of getting them up the card. Yeah. So they were like really dependent on Moxley and really dependent on the Young Bucks and Eddie Kingston and like these upper card guys. But yeah, we're like in the lightning aisle, we're walking, we're making our way to the floodlight. That's the analogy. That's where I think Speedball is. And it's a good place to be. It really is.
I want to know how many people didn't know Speedball before he came to AEW.
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Speedball.
Because he was in TNA before this. He's the former X Division champ. He's been on the indie circuit. So if you are a fan of the indies or a fan of TNA or just a viewer of clips online, but for the person that doesn't spend their time online, the person that doesn't spend their time looking at TNA, this is a new wrestler for them to learn about, to learn their moveset, to learn what kind of wrestler they are.
Yeah, I'm guessing people have probably heard the name Speedball Mike Bailey because you know they see it on Twitter or whatever. Especially if you're an AEW fan, because a lot of AEW fans are more online. So I'm guessing they've probably heard the name Speedball, but I think for a lot of people, this is the first time they've seen Speedball like in the flesh.
In the flesh,
like they finally put like
working
a face in the name,
and
they watch the matches, that kind of stuff. So I'm assuming that's the situation for a lot of people. But AEW, to their credit, has done a really good job of not overexposing Speedball or Ricochet or Kevin Knight or any of these like newer guys. Not overexposing, but still giving fans enough to latch onto something to like, because people come into AEW sometimes and then they, like Action Andretti comes in, beats Chris Jericho, leaves. Like there's a lot of guys that have been doing this like in the tides.
Sorry, that's hilarious. Just leaves. Bye.
He comes in, he beats Chris Jericho, and we're like, oh my god, what a moment. This is like a legendary moment. Bye. We saw Dante Martin more than we saw Action Andretti.
Ooh.
Saying, I had such high hopes for the Action Andretti thing, but anyway.
That's not talking about.
But to their credit, AEW has done a really good job. This like new crop of guys. I won't say young because some of them aren't young, but like this new crop of talent that they brought in recently who aren't like world-renowned heavy hitters like the Mercedes, Ospreay, Okada crop of wrestlers. They're respected wrestlers. Some are younger, some are older, like Josh Alexander's older. But they're people that the audience is like vaguely familiar with. So they have a little bit of pull coming in, but then AEW reimagines them and says, here, have fun. And the fans say, thank you. We are in the Home Depot lighting aisle.
I can't believe you brought in Home Depot to this.
I love Home Depot. When I was a kid, I was so obsessed with building things. I would get Home Depot gift cards for my birthday and for Christmas and stuff.
So you're a Home Depot person over Lowe's. Are we gonna?
I prefer Lowe's for a lot of reasons. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
I will tell you, if you want a great place to buy rugs that aren't super expensive but high quality, go to the Home Depot.
Rugs?
Yeah.
Oh,
one of my favorite area rugs which is like, it's a nice little, 8x10 rug. It's not, it's not huge, but it's that kind of fuzzy. And my son, my Archer Luis, he's my chihuahua. He loves to rub his body on it. I love a good area rug. I love a good area rug.
I love a good rug too.
Rugs
I have
and lighting.
My thing with rugs is that they have to have like a soft texture. Like my sister has a rug in her living room that's like this really rough, like hard, I don't even know how to describe it. Like carpet, but longer. And I'm not into it. But Home Depot. At the end of the day,
I'm just saying.
We're all just in the lighting aisle.
I'm an area rug kind of person. So obviously.
This show is us. We're looking at the rugs in Home Depot. It's me, you, and the chat. We're looking at the rugs. And we pull out one rug and it's Omega Okada. But behind it, in the corner, is Paragon versus Don Callis family. And she's shriveled. And she's dirty. She's been there for 25 years.
Do you like those rug cleaning videos?
Yes, with like the power washer thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen those.
So I'm going to tell you something. So being part of the spectrum over here, one way to ground myself lately from having like a little bit of overstimulation meltdowns is obviously wearing my headphones and putting on one of those videos.
Yeah.
It's something about the shh noises while they're cleaning. I live for it. I
love these videos of, there's a lot of people that do them, but they have like 3 colors of paint and it's like 10% of one color, 90% of this color.
Yes.
And then it gets like the proportions change.
The difference. Yes.
I love those. I live for them. Like the sound of the little paint.
Yeah. The little
paint knife going. So good.
All right. I'm going to be sending you those videos because.
Please do. I love them. Look at us. We're in the Home Depot rug aisle. That's what we love.
Oh.
So, okay. Speaking of neurodivergency, Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa. I was second guessing myself the whole time I said that. I was like, you can't say that. You can't. I did.
I gave you permission. I gave you permission. Mina's turning heel tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We are seeing a heel Mina. I think Mariah May will not be a factor. Although I'm not sure with how much she's been online bullying people, and not bullying people, but being like, God forbid a girlie take a vacation. It's like, okay, you've been retweeting people now. So I feel like if this was this time last week, I would have said Mariah May is not factoring in, but now I am unsure.
Yeah. She's been trolling.
I love a good trolling.
She's been on the interwebs. I think if Mariah May is not a factor, which I don't know if she is, but if she's not, I agree Mina's turning heel because I think I think that's much more interesting. I'm wondering if we get a Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford, Mina trio situation.
Ooh.
Because I think Mina fits in nice with like the whole homoerotic thing Megan and Penelope have going on. I think Mina.
Is it because we are? Because Megan Bayne is so hot.
Yes.
And Penelope Ford is so hot. And we know that Penelope Ford is married to Kip Sabian. But
yes, but
them together, I feel
the way that they keep complimenting each other, not that friends don't compliment each other, but something about it gives like.
Listen, the meme with the tall girl with the little girl and she's pinning her against the wall, it is hot.
Yes. And then
this is
Mina
it.
And I think Mina,
but wrestling.
I think Mina, I don't know, I think she fits with them. And I don't know if they're building Toni Storm versus Megan Bayne too.
Yeah.
Which I think they are, because they've kind of left that door open.
Yeah.
I think that would be an interesting story if you have Mina once again with the Hot Girls Club against Toni Storm, because Toni Storm is constantly fighting these hot girls. And
wow, what a terrible thing. Oh my God, Toni Storm's always fighting hot girls.
Well, I think that's like part of her gimmick at this point.
Right
like,
into Pride Month, y'all.
Yeah, well, she said she's here. She's queer. She's not going anywhere.
Absolutely. So amen.
I think her fighting the lesbians is her gimmick. I think that's what this is. And so Mina is just the next step.
Okay. I love it.
I think Toni wins this.
Okay.
I think it's too soon for Mina. I think we need to do a little bit of character development with Mina. Not saying that Mina can't be champ, but maybe down the line, perhaps. I don't know if Mariah shows up.
Right.
Contract status? Don't know.
We don't know anything. Just so the record's clear. However, I think it's Toni at all in versus whoever wins the Owen Cup.
Yeah, which I have Jamie Hayter.
I have Jamie Hayter as well. And we talked about this when the Owen Cup was coming up because our women's bracket was very similar.
Yes. And I think here's what happens in my head, okay?
Okay.
I think we get an Athena appearance tonight. I think I don't think she interferes in the match. I don't think because obviously she's a babyface. I don't think that is where we go. Mm-hmm. I think Mercedes loses clean as a whistle.
Okay, so this is interesting coming off of the back of her losing.
Yes,
and the New Japan Strong.
I think this because she lost the New Japan Strong title.
Okay,
I think because remember she threw a tantrum.
Right.
I think she throws the tantrum here, and Athena interferes in the tantrum throwing. We get like a scuffle of sorts. Because I think Athena Mercedes is the all-in match. I think I think at the end of the day, like we built it. I don't think you can send Athena out there to cost Mercedes because she's too like the babyface heel is so strong here. Like the dynamic is so strong. Billy being there is interesting because obviously Billy is still Athena's little friend, and I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on with Athena's Ring of Honor run. Who knows? But I think Hayter wins. I think Hayter versus Toni Storm is that like what's the word? Not fanfare, but like the most desired match, like the most hyped, the most like, and like yeah, Big Man's right. You can't interfere in the Owen, but like that doesn't mean that Athena can't do things to prevent Mercedes from winning.
I will have you know, when Athena was in her Stardom shows, she had 3 matches. Okay. Mm-hmm. She beat Tekla in all of them. However, there's a reason why she lost at Wrestle Dynasty with Tekla interfering. I'm just saying, if we're factoring in Athena at All In,
yes,
and we're expecting Tekla to come in some fashion.
Yes.
Where does she fit in? And it so easily goes hand in hand with Athena. However, Athena has unfinished business with Mercedes.
Yes. So I'm wondering, because I think Athena Mercedes, like you almost have to do it at All In because people have like fantasy booked it so hard for All In.
And they've been in all the promo shots. They were the ones doing all the right.
Yeah, I mean, you could put Tekla with Mercedes for now, and then have
she's so rock and roll. She's so hot. It really is.
And you'd like, because Billy being there, you have to do something
Having
with
those
Billy.
tag matches. Oh
and
my
you could have
god!
Tag matches. You could do Billy versus Tekla because like Billy has had some good AEW matches so far.
Right.
So maybe that's, unless you want to do like a complete different thing and just have Tekla like come in, do her own stuff, and then she just inserts herself with Athena at the end of All In, the All In match, and then we do that. We could do that as well. But I think for Mercedes, like losing the New Japan Strong title, I think to me that signals like, okay, we're on the cusp of something.
Right.
Because belt collector gimmicks don't last forever, and then losing the belts signifies a change in the story. So I'm assuming that she loses to Jamie here. And then I'm assuming that she loses to Athena at All In. It's going to be winner takes all situation. And then if I were booking, Athena would not be Ring of Honor champ right now. Like I would have gotten the belt offer because it complicates
a long time ago.
Yeah, because it complicates things because if you give her the TBS title and she's Ring of Honor Women's World Champ, then it's like it's hard to get rid of that Ring of Honor title because now you're just saying she's a belt collector, but there's nobody for her to lose the Ring of Honor Women's title to except for Billy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what about the TBS title? Like, because Billy's AEW, like it just complicates things. So I would have gotten rid of it by now, but whatever. Maybe at Supercard the night before, she loses the title. She comes into All In on a losing streak, and she beats Mercedes and crowns herself TBS champion, and we get a new Athena. Maybe. Or maybe she vacates at Supercard. She comes out, she says, she pulls an Asuka. You know, I've been undefeated. I'm leaving Ring of Honor behind.
800 plus days of being the champ. Yeah. The most champiest champ. Again, Ring of Honor, figure out how you want to book it because I have ideas. However, they aren't paying me and I'm not giving them to them for free. So Athena going into Supercard and losing because of Mercedes would be so hot.
Yeah.
And then her going into All In, knowing that Athena lost because Mercedes interfered. Not because Mercedes took the title, but because she interfered in some capacity.
Yeah.
Causing Athena to win the TV. Oh my God, that would be so hot. That would be so red hot.
And it would be a good way to use Ring of Honor. Like if you're going to do these crossovers where you have talent appearing on two, to have the stories cross over. Because sometimes talent do stuff in Ring of Honor and it never comes into, never factors into AEW or vice versa. It's
everything that's going on with Queen Aminata.
Yeah. And so I would dig that because if Mercedes shows up and costs Athena, it's going to be all over social media.
Absolutely.
Like the hype is going to be everywhere. And to address Jason's question, he said, you think Mercedes loses 2 pay-per-view matches in a row? I do.
Yeah.
Because I think Mercedes is protected enough that she could take losses. But I think the story for Mercedes is in those losses. They're not losses for no reason. They're losses because she's been the CEO, but this is all a facade. She's not really the CEO, first of all. Second of all, it's you're
gonna have those Mercedes fans on your tail, man.
there's this undercurrent of Mercedes where it's like very clear that she's struggling with one, her leaving WWE, giving up that dream and trying to find
Mhm.
herself, like that undercurrent and like the insecurity that comes with it. And like it's all false bravado at the end of the day. Like that is the Mercedes character. So it's time for her to lose the title. She already lost one. She has 2 to go. Lose the titles, lose the Owen, and find something there. That's just my thoughts.
That's
Just my thoughts.
crazy. That's
And also
crazy.
just like fundamentally, I think Jamie needs to win. Like Jamie, like you bring Jamie back, and they've done like essentially nothing with her. She needs to win.
This is crazy. This is crazy. I don't hate it, but it's crazy. It just might work.
I'm not hated.
Kiley, this is why I love doing this show with you. Because you're just like, that's me.
That's me. I'm not hated. I am crazy.
Yeah, I love it though.
But
I'm for whatever gets Athena on my television regularly.
Yeah, because you have to put her on the show, right? Like she has to be there. Especially because we have 6 weeks until All In. And if you're gonna build that match, like you have to put Athena here, right? Like I feel like that's
absolutely.
Period.
Period.
Okay. The other controversy, which we kind of like, we alluded to this at the beginning of the show. Team Ospreay versus Team Hangman.
The girlies were going crazy.
Yes, I went on Blue Sky and it was like every post, and it was like people posting, "I'm Team Ospreay, I'm Team Hangman," whatever, and then people were retweeting every Team Ospreay or every Team Hangman post, and it was like crazy. Like you couldn't get away from it. It was taking over Blue Sky. Like,
do people really? Are people watching a different show than us? Like that promo, I do have to say, if you want to watch something, go back and watch that promo from Dynamite on Wednesday. That is something that absolutely made me want to cry. Absolutely believed everything that each man was saying, because it's no longer I want to win because I want the title. It's I want to win because I want my child to look at me and not see the loser that I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like in my head, okay, Ospreay wins. We have a super chat. From Louis. He says, hashtag leaves his plants, Team Hangman. Leaves is plants. That cacti post Hangman did on Blue Sky was great.
Excellent.
In Ospreay wins, guys. Ospreay wins because in how I think this ends up happening, and I don't think this is far-fetched. I think Hangman constantly struggling with the fact that he couldn't protect his family from Swerve, like when Swerve broke in. I think he talks about it all the time. He's still struggling with that. So I think Hangman loses. I know. Bear with me. Hear me out. I think because Hangman has constantly been seeking out Swerve. He's going to Swerve's locker room. We've seen it multiple times. He's looking for Swerve. I think Swerve goes to Hangman. And he's like, hey, you're not a failure, dog. You're fine. You're not a failure. Like, we stood toe-to-toe. We did our whole thing. Swerve Hangman. I think that's how we grapple with it. I don't think that we have another big blowout match with them. I think it's purely psychological, like therapy time. A sit down with Moné or something.
Therapy?
Yeah. And I honestly think they become a team. Like, I think you add Hangman into this team AEW thing. And I think, and I've said it a lot on the show, I think All In, it's Young Bucks versus Swerve and Hangman. That's because Hangman winning the Owen would not be world ending. Like, it wouldn't break anything. But I think they've been pretty clear that Ospreay is the guy.
Yeah, he's been the guy for a while.
And so I think there's beauty in the Ospreay story of like, because he's been in all these interviews he's done for Double or Nothing Press, like AEW is, has the best wrestlers in the world. I'm glad to be a part of this. Like, he's not about ego and like all that kind of stuff. He's very much putting forth the like, I'm genuine, authentic, wholesome, all those kinds of things. Which is a direct foil for the Moxley character. So I think, I don't know. Guys, I'm Team Ospreay. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm hurting people's feelings. They're like, we came for the elite girl, and she's not picking the elite.
So remember when we were doing our Owen Hart brackets, is that you said Ospreay.
Yeah.
And I said Hangman.
Yeah.
I'm going back on my prediction.
Whoa.
I know.
Was it those promos that like?
Yeah, it's the promos. It's just how everything is being framed for Ospreay. Now he needs to stop straightening his hair.
Yes.
That is his biggest downfall. Somebody take that straightener away from him. But I feel like Hangman has a little bit of he's gotta forgive himself.
Exactly.
And he's gotta team up with Swerve.
That's where I think it's going. And I think there's a bigger story for Hangman in losing the Owen and having this failure and recognizing that he was seeking out career fulfillment to satisfy his own disappointments with himself as a man. I think like that's a more poetic story, like so grappling with his mental health, figuring, because that's been the Hangman story. Like when he beat Kenny for the title, it was because he figured out who he was without the elite. Like that was his story. It was disappointment with himself. And then obviously the Swerve thing, man drank another man's blood. And now he has to, like, that was his reaction to not being able to protect his kid. And so I think like, and Mike in the chat says, don't forget Darby Allin. I have not forgotten. Darby Allin does not need to be anywhere near the world title.
He's still up on, no thanks.
No thanks.
Right now, no
Ospreay,
thanks.
Hangman. And I think Ospreay has been the biggest babyface in the company on like a pure, like, who's most over right now.
Right.
Hangman is the fan favorite. He's like, he's America's sweetheart. He is AEW. He's America's sweetheart. So I think Ospreay being world champion and having that like that story, and he's already done a lot of talking about AEW as a leader and like a champion would, like where we're the best wrestle. AEW. There's nobody that competes with us in the ring. We're working a lot on building up young talent, like all those talking points. And like I said earlier, he's a direct foil for the Moxley character.
Yeah.
And so Ospreay makes the most sense to beat Moxley. Like, I don't even think Darby Allin at this point in time makes sense to beat Moxley. Like, you can't have Darby come back and be like, oh yeah, Ospreay step aside, Hangman, Swerve, I'm here to win the world title. That doesn't make sense for the Darby Allin character. It just doesn't make sense anymore.
Right.
And so Ospreay makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, am I going to be mad if Hangman wins? No, I'm going to be ecstatic because I love Hangman. But I think it's Ospreay. Sorry, guys. Team Ospreay.
I agree with everything you're saying.
And I've been an Ospreay hater before. Before AEW, like, and it would took me a long time of him being in AEW for me to buy into him. Like,
I feel like that was a conversation that we had because he was such a New Japan guy and that hadn't really translated in the way of being a front man like Kenny Omega. There was no replacement for Kenny Omega. And I remember that we had a conversation about how I was starting to get the feeling that while Kenny was away, Will slotted right into that Kenny Omega rah promo, good guy wanting to defeat the bad guy kind of thing. And then it got lost when he was oriented with the Don Callis family. He got out of there real quick and he settled that feud with Kyle Fletcher in such a wonderful way that really took him out of the United Empire, took him away from Kyle and Mr. Dunkzilla. Mark Davis. Sorry, had to think for a second. I was like, it's Mark Davis.
The fact that you knew Dunkzilla. The Twitter handle. You're like, this guy on Twitter.
That's all I remember from the AEW is them talking about Dunkzilla. But I'm just saying it's one of those things of Will Ospreay is not Kenny Omega.
No.
However, it is adjacent.
Yes. I think for me, what in New Japan and in like his early AEW run, what really kept me from like buying into Will Ospreay was the fact that he did all this amazing wrestling, right? But there was no soul. Like he really struggled with the storytelling emotion part of it.
Yeah.
Until the Kenny Omega match. And then like that first, the first major one. And then it was, we started to see Will Ospreay kind of blossom and do a lot more. And I think some of it is because in
blossoming is a great comparison there.
I think part of it is because when he was, officially like a star in New Japan, he was part of that like crop of four: Okada, Ospreay, White, and Ibushi. Like New Japan needed them. Like they had to have these New Japan type matches all the freaking time. Different combinations of them nonstop for like years after, AEW was founded. And so I think that kind of like pigeonholed him a little bit. And so I was not really into that because like Jay White and Ibushi and Okada were just like
I miss
firing.
Ibushi.
Yeah. They were just doing that a little, like the story part a little bit better, the emotion part a little bit better. Ospreay's kind of come into his own in AEW. And I think it's the Omega matches. And I think it's the Fletcher feud where we've gone past this like, hi bruv, I'm going to beat you up. That's the story. To this more emotional type of thing. And you could see it in the way that he wrestles. And it's like, it carries that thread line through the match in ways he didn't in New Japan. So I don't know the reasoning for that. I think AEW like demands those kind of matches because I think those are the matches that fans really want to see. But it's been really interesting for me to kind of go from not wanting to see Ospreay wrestle to actively anticipating his matches and feeling excited for his matches. And like Big Man Dogs puts it great. Kenny is just more seasoned. I do think Kenny is more seasoned. I think some of that is because Kenny has more experience and has done these kind of like really poetic matches for a long time, and Ospreay hasn't. But Ospreay's getting there, and it's been like such a joy to watch it happen. Jay White, if Jay White can get rid of the injury bug, I think Jay White is going to be in that same kind of spot. But Hangman is just such a special talent. And like, it's just naturally gifted with this kind of thing. This like this oomph that Kenny Omega has. Hangman has it too in spades. And so I think Ospreay wins here, but I don't think that it's a loss for Hangman. I think this is like the next step in the Hangman arc and the Hangman push.
Yeah.
And then I hope Ospreay beats Moxley. If it's Darby Allin at All In,
I will die.
Why? Why would you do it? Like, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Or even if you do Ospreay Moxley and Moxley beats Ospreay, why? There's no reason for that to happen. It has to be like, I'm sorry, Darby, you chose the mountain. Sorry. Now I'm not fired up about Will Ospreay. Imagine me, 2025. I'm fired up about Will Ospreay.
I feel like Will Ospreay had that war within himself with that Tiger Driver and how he injured Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
Injured. Ooh, my finger. Do you hear my finger? Sorry. That's fun. Love being old. Okay. Anyways, so he had that war within himself. And I think the difference between Ospreay and Hangman is that Will Ospreay has dealt with his demons and Hangman has not.
Exactly. And Hangman needs to deal with it because it's constantly going to be like in the back of his mind during his matches, and it's going to cause him to slip up. And his demon is Swerve. You have to deal with Swerve. But I think Swerve finding Hangman, whereas Hangman has been trying to find Swerve this whole time. Swerve coming to him would be like, it just means a lot more.
Yeah.
And so that's why I have Ospreay. But I will say, I don't, because like a couple people in the chat have said Tony's dead set on Darby, he's not moving on from it, whatever. I don't think this would be the final of the Owen. Yeah, first of all, I don't care, Tony. Get over it. If that's the case. But also, I don't think this would be the final of the Owen if Tony was going to throw both of them away for Darby.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that would happen.
Mm-mm.
I think we would have Adam Cole and someone else, and it would be these like lower mid-card guys, and we would call it a day. I don't think he would put his two biggest single stars, because the other biggest single stars are Anarchy in the Arena. I don't think he would do it. I really don't, especially because it cost him Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher and Josh Alexander and Brody King, and it was just a deep field. So that's just, maybe I'm giving Tony too much credit on that, but that's just like that's my thought process, because I saw people saying that on Blue Sky as well. During the Team Ospreay, Team Hangman thing, people were like, it doesn't matter because it's going to be Darby anyway. You're wasting your time. I don't think so. I really don't. But should we get to Anarchy in the Arena?
Ah!
So let me run down these teams for you, okay?
Yeah, okay, please do.
So we have the Death Riders, which includes Marina. Is
she not part of the Death Riders?
Well, I'm saying it includes Marina, so we know she's in the match.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
We have Death Riders, so it's Claudio, Yuta, Mox, Marina, because Pac is injured, and the Young Bucks against this absolute dream team. This is like all stars, okay? We have Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, Powerhouse Hobbs, Shibata, and Samoa Joe. That is the best Anarchy in the Arena team ever.
So I'm going to let you know something. A heel faction for the last 3 Anarchy in Arena matches have been the only winners of this the match.
See, that
only heels have won.
That does factor into why I picked Team Kenny Omega, Team AEW, Team, whatever you want to call it. Because listen, I do think, and Mike is right, I think Gabe Kidd will get involved.
Ugh.
Because they wouldn't introduce him for no reason. He will get involved. He still has beef with Kenny. It is what it is. This, and we talked about it earlier, but in case you missed it, Eddie Kingston. I don't know. I'm not claiming to know anything. But if there was a time to bring back Eddie Kingston, it's now. Bring him back. Have him, even the odds here. I think Kenny and Swerve should not take a loss here. So if you're going to have the Death Riders and Young Bucks win, it's got to be like Shibata who takes the L or something. I don't know. But I think we're due for like a cool like babyface win. And I think the Young Bucks are due for a massive loss. And I think the Death Riders, because they lost the trios titles, like in the Freebird thing with Moxley, I think we can take an L. Like we can see the writing on the wall. We can start saying Moxley is his clock is ticking. Like, he's going to lose the title. Things are happening because they kind of insinuated, they planted some seeds in that. Moxley being so afraid of every opponent who challenges him.
Mm-hmm.
And so perhaps the Ops being trios champions, I don't think is a factor in this at all. Like, I think Tony Khan has no problem feeding a loss to the trios champs. Because I don't think Tony cares about the trios titles now at this point. Unfortunately. Because I love the Ops. The name is a little but I love the Ops.
It's better than the Paragon.
It's so much better than the Paragon. I think there's such a visual in like these, like the Death Riders, like such a disliked group for all the wrong reasons, like disliked fundamentally, and the Young Bucks, who have also kind of been in that spot, but now are like annoying heels that people want to see lose. There's something so AEW in these groups being together, taking the L to this like Avenger style group of fan favorites. It is literally like plucked from, if you put out a poll and you said, hey, AEW fans, who do you think is the brightest, shiniest toy in AEW? It would be these guys. Like, it would be Omega, Swerve, Willow, and the Ops.
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously Hangman and Ospreay are not available. So it's like, there's never been a better time to have your world champion take a loss than here. It'd be great. Imagine it. I would be so here for it. I'd be so here for it. And Willow and Marina being here, I'm intrigued.
I love adding women to this match. I think that we've seen Willow dominate a street fight environment. Absolutely be a pivotal portion of this. However, I think Marina Shafir needs some redemption after that questionable intergender match that we saw.
Yeah. Well, I think Willow has beef with Mox because Mox took her off the shelf, or put her on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get something funky with them. Like, Willow's going to put Moxley in a dumpster or something. I don't know. It's going to, I don't know.
I want to see Willow pin Moxley.
Can that happen in Anarchy in the Arena?
I would love that. Anything goes in an Anarchy in an Arena match. There are no rules.
No, let Willow pin Yuta. Let her pin him. It's Yuta.
Iconic. I mean, last night that they had a pre-surprise match.
Yeah, Yuta is like the emo kid. Like, he's like he could take a loss. He's whatever. So let her pin him. It'd be so good. It'd be so good. I think maybe I'm being optimistic. I think
that's fine.
I think Tony Khan has kind of seen the writing on the wall for the Death Riders. I think he's kind of seen that, like, not only are people done with the Death Riders, they don't want Darby. Every time someone says on social media, every time someone says, I'm so excited for Darby Allin to win the world title, they get absolutely raked over the coals.
Out the building.
Like, it's so bad. Which I don't bully people like that, first of all.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? Don't be an idiot. Like, yeah, you have to be a special kind of stupid to be like, I'm going to go on Twitter and I'm going to bully. But yeah. Well, and like Mike says, Bryan Danielson getting involved would make me happy. I would be happy. I don't know if he's going to, because he's
in town,
MIA,
but
it would be a good moment. And so, and it would be nice to have, not that I think Danielson or Kingston or whoever should have like a really instrumental role in the match, but having little, like, because this is Team AEW versus Team Losers, right? It would be nice. It would be nice to have little, like, it would be nice to have little cameos from AEW fan favorites like Danielson and Kingston and Copeland, perhaps, and like all these other people. It'd be nice to have those little cameos And so, I mean, you could have Toni Storm have a little cameo here. Have her backstage after her match, like she's, with the trainer, she's getting ice, whatever, and the brawl runs past her. Have her say a one-liner. It'd be good. It'd be great. And so I think that would be a lot of fun. And so I wouldn't be opposed to it. Anarchy in the Arena, like a lot of people have asked though, and I kind of want to know what you think. What song do you think they're going to play?
Oh my God.
There's no more Wild Thing.
No more Wild Thing. No more Final Countdown, which that was like the funniest spot. Oh my God, we're spending $100,000 every time we play the song. Hilarious moment in previous Anarchy Arena. I mean, Kenny Omega is like big on his Final Fantasy theme, so I would see the Kenny Omega's Final Fantasy theme. I
said Willow is a good.
Yeah.
Like those two theme songs are so good. And just imagine.
So everyone is just.
Everyone's dancing because it's Willow's. And it's just blood spraying everywhere. Like Moxley severed his carotid artery and it's just Willow's.
We don't want death. We don't want severed carotid artery. My God.
Fix it. Have a doctor on standby. It's fine. Do it for the business.
This is insane. Kiley, you're insane.
And
we get to almost 2 hours in this, and you're already like, carotid artery, sever the artery.
Would do it. If you asked him, he'd be like, yeah. Have some gauze ready. I can plug it up. It's fine.
Yeah, let me go ask Moxley. Let me go text him, by the way. Also, if you want to play predictions with us, there is over on all my social media _queer auntie, or over on Blue Sky just queer auntie. You can play predictions with us. There might be some cash on the line. Who knows?
Period.
So go play with us, play predictions. There's some bonus questions. Big Man Dogs, you are on fire in the chat right now. But go ahead, play predictions with us. It'll be a lot of fun. And I'm just so excited to be on social media during the Anarchy and Arena because it's always so much fun.
It is so much fun. And what really kills me is, I don't remember when it was, but the first Anarchy in the Arena where Wild Thing was playing on loop and it was nonstop. And then everybody was like, it was an accident. They couldn't shut it off. I love that it's become a thing. That like you have to play the music. Willow's music with its like happy like jazz vibes, it would be incredible.
Absolutely.
Swerve's would also be good, but then the whole crowd would be screaming "Whose house? Swerve's house" the whole time. But I think it's a problem.
The point is to get the crowd hyped with how absolutely insane this match is.
Yeah. It can't be the Death Riders theme song because that's just like, it's not good.
Yeah, people just want to roll their eyes at it.
Yeah,
so no thanks.
And the EVP's theme song is not Anarchy. Like it doesn't give. It gives Boardroom. It doesn't give Anarchy. So it's like I don't know if you've seen the show Succession. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like it makes me think of like Wall Street. Gag. Or you could have Eddie Kingston come out, surprise, and just loop Eddie Kingston's theme song.
So this week I worked out 4 days this week, by the way.
Here we
on top of everything else. So I added an additional workout mostly because my shoulders have been aching for more weight. And I'm going to tell you something. There are a couple themes that get me pumping. Jamie Hayter's theme. Okay. Jay Uso's new theme. That's what day one is. I don't know what that is, but also it's Eddie Kingston's theme.
Yeah, it's so good. And the beats per minute is so high. Yeah.
I don't know words, guys. I'm not a vocalist. I'm not a rapper, singer, songwriter, entertainer in that way. But let me tell you, it It pumps
It's so
and
good.
humps.
Because if they end up playing Final Fantasy the whole time, I hate it. It's so bad.
It's because we love battle cries so much.
Yeah. How do you go from Devil Sky and Battle Cry
Mm-hmm.
to this? It gives
Because he's a fucking nerd.
Stop being a nerd. Devil Sky was nerdy. It's like the quintessential.
You want me to tell Kenny Omega to stop being a nerd?
Yeah, I'll tell him too. I'll be like, hey, Kenny, Final Fantasy, put it in the can. We don't need it. He comes out in this robe with the Omega symbol showing off his chest, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna play this boring song. It's so bad. It's so boring. When you have Battle Cry,
so good.
It's like that. What's a bigger downgrade, y'all? Battle Cry to Final Fantasy or Wild Thing to whatever the hell this Death Rider song is? What's a bigger downgrade? And they're both pretty bad.
They're both bad. I can't even think of what the Ops theme is.
I don't know. What is
There's no greater theme though than Samoa Joe's. Bum, 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 bum.
You could just have the Ops come out to Samoa Joe's theme and then just play that one. That would be good.
Do y'all know that Samoa Joe's theme is a pairing off of Godzilla?
See, that's nerd done right.
But if there was any wrestler that would be compared to Godzilla, Samoa Joe is the Godzilla of wrestling.
He's so iconic.
He's just so good.
He's so good. And he's always going to get a pop wherever he goes.
Hi, buddy. You want to come up?
It's so good. Final Fantasy is pretty bad. It's the star of the show.
It's the star of the show. Oh, you smell like a Frito factory. I'm sorry. Do you want to give your final thoughts, Archer?
What are your final thoughts about AEW Double or Nothing? Team Ospreay or Team Hangman? Oh, he said Ospreay.
Oh, yeah. He's excited about all the snacks he's going to steal.
Yeah,
because I'm going to tell you something. So when I watch the wrestling shows with all of my friends, it always happens that one of our dogs steals some sort of food. He's my chip boy, so he loves chips. Yeah, you love chips. Whereas Penny has stolen full hot dogs, full hamburgers, full.
Penny's like this big.
Yeah.
I love that.
Hi. Am I talking too long? Okay.
We can wrap it up, I guess.
I just want to say, having dogs, people think that small dogs are like less responsibility. They are more toddler-like than I think toddlers. Yeah. Hi. He said, Mommy, you're talking too long. It's too long. I would like to rest. Yeah.
Okay, we can give our final thoughts and our plugs. We did cover the whole card though, Archer. So thank you for being patient.
Oh, I'm so sorry on account of my Frito loving dog. I say the Frito factory because that's where he works. Because why else would he just smell like Fritos?
Secret. It's like Perry the Platypus. You know, just like a secret job on the side.
Hilarious. I'm excited for the show. For sure, Will and Hangers are main eventing. What is opening the proper show? Do you think we're gonna?
I think we open with Speedball Okada.
Oh, The good old Orange Cassidy slot.
Yeah, because I think the only other match that I would say you could open with would be Mercedes Jamie, but that feels like
it feels too long to have that much space in between two Owens.
That's my thought as well. And nothing else feels like opening match vibes. And Speedball Okada, it's pretty low stakes, but it's gonna deliver. So you might as well put it on there. Yeah, that's what I think is gonna open. And I think like you have to do the stretcher match before Anarchy.
I think it has to be the second match.
Yeah, that's what I would do as well. And then, because if you do it after Anarchy, then it's the crowd's tired of stuff like that from Anarchy. So it has to be before. So that's just my thoughts on that. Do you want to give your final thoughts and your plugs?
My final thoughts is that AEW is back. It's back every week. I'm excited for wrestling again. If you want to watch this and NXT, you can. If you want to go see what we did predict over at Between Two Beards, they invited me on their show on Love Wrestling. And let me tell you, JPJ and Pluggo are insane creatures. So you want to go over there. We did predict Saturday Night Main Event, NXT Battleground, and Double or Nothing. It's a long show, but if you want to hear us predict that, go over there. I stream Thursdays through Sundays. Today is Sunday, so after this, I am not doing a post show. I got invited to 2 different post shows. I said, no, thank you. I'm tired. I'm tired. So you can find me on all social media _queer auntie. You can join. Listen, we already have 8 responses over here for the Double or Nothing predictions. Maybe I'll throw in some of my own cash for the winning prize. I don't make money fork over hand, but if you want to support our show, make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. Send in your super chats. And we're just gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna go make some Southwest food because that's the food theme. So I got some taquitos to make.
Okay.
Some spicy potatoes.
I don't know what I'm making yet. I don't know. I have chips and I have soda, which is like my standard pay-per-view snack.
Yeah,
I like to have like I like to have like a special dinner because like the pre-show starts at 6:30 for me, my time. So like I like to have, eat dinner, watch the pre-show, get the vibes right, set the mood. So I don't know.
It's interesting because you say, oh, and I go, wait, it starts at 6. Oh, it starts at 3:30 Pacific time.
Yeah.
Nasty work.
6:30 my time. But yeah. My final thought is that Double or Nothing is going to be so freaking good. I don't think there's a match on this card that I think is going to be a stinker. Like they're all going to deliver because the caliber of talent is just so extraordinarily high.
Agreed.
Like and so I'm just like so stoked. Like AEW is so back. And Kate and I text each other all the time. Like, is AEW back? AEW is so back.
Absolutely.
And then tomorrow's Memorial Day, and so I don't have work anyway because I am an instructor at a college, and so summer's off. But a lot of people have the day off tomorrow, so shout out to you guys if you do. I'm already off for the summer. I'm done till August.
Lucky you.
I know, because we only have 9-month work years.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I mean, you have an option.
I need to change professions for reals.
I would not recommend a shift to higher ed right now.
Although my teaching certificates are expired. However, I did get a message from an old colleague of mine that went, "Hey, any chance?"
That's crazy. I got a message. So Kiley, some of you know this from the past. I used to be a firefighter.
What?
Yeah. I did firefighting school simultaneously with high school. And so, yeah. But like obviously my certs are expired, whatever. But we're in like a nationwide firefighter shortage.
That's
Yeah, and so they're
crazy.
trying to get people to recertify because like so how I don't know how people know this. There's career firefighters, which is like it's your job. And those are
Yeah.
like more specially trained firefighters. Like
Mhm.
that's where you get like your wildfire fighters and your USAR firefighters, like that kind of stuff. And then most fire departments, especially in like rural areas, it's volunteer, baby. Like they're
That's
obviously trained.
crazy.
Like there's firefighter one, firefighter two. Like they're trained, they do stuff, but like we even have a shortage on those ones. And so yeah, we're in like a weird spot because nobody's going to firefighting school, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so I did firefighting school during high school. So the first half of my day was firefighting school, the second half was high school. Yeah. Kiley lore for you. And then
I'm learning so much about you.
yeah, I used to tell stories on Tag Talk of like calls and stuff. So yeah. There's a lot of like high schools around the nation now that are doing these like vocational programs, not just like firefighting, but like other stuff too. So I'm guessing it's to like fill, labor shortages or something. I don't know. But yeah, Kiley lore, my little background. But back to what I was saying, I had a guy who we didn't work together, but he was at a firehouse I trained at. He was
Yeah.
like, they are like, we are in the trenches here. Like they are begging people to recertify. And I was like, no. But I did think about it though, because it's like it's a pretty safe, not safe physically, but like if the country collapsed, we still need firefighters. So like it's a pretty safe career.
Absolutely.
You just have to put your life on the line all the time.
I
Uh,
don't think that that's for me though.
no,
I'm
and
sorry.
I'm being dramatic. Like, I mean, I guess if you work in like urban areas or you work in like water rescue or something, you're going to be in
Yeah.
danger a lot more. But like your day-to-day calls, it's like mostly medical stuff, like heart attack or like I broke
Yeah.
a hip, stuff like that. Like you don't I mean, when I was training, we had a couple really rough calls and our captain was like, "This is about as worse as it gets." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. I can do it." But it does suck. It's like a very physically grueling and mentally taxing job because you work 48-hour shifts and you're just there at the firehouse for 48 hours. So some stations do 24-24 or 12-12. We did 48-48. So yeah. But anyway, back to Double or Nothing. I don't know why I was talking about this.
I loved it. I loved every bit of it.
A little bit of tea. I used to have a keychain from my graduating year, and I used to have it like around here, but I don't know where it went. I would show you all. Maybe I'll find it and I'll put a picture on Blue Sky for you all.
Yeah,
But
can
you can
you?
follow me on Blue Sky at Kiley Wrestling. I'll be live posting Double or Nothing, my thoughts and my reactions, that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, follow me on Blue Sky. Yeah, this is Wrestling Made Me Cry. It's a show where me and Collins come on here every week and we talk about the things in wrestling that made us cry, and we have a good time. We're live every Sunday at noon Eastern ish on Fightful. It's give or take a few. We
Yeah.
have situated. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we end up yapping to each other and we look at the clock and it's 12:15. It's fine.
That's us this morning. Sorry.
Yeah, 12-ish. It's fine. We always end up yapping the first few minutes of the show anyway, so you're not going to miss anything. But yeah, 12-ish on Fightful Overbooked. And mind you, this is Fightful Overbooked. It's a channel of everything.
Everything. Non-wrestling things, wrestling things.
Yeah. I keep trying to come up with an adjective for it because I used to say the Wild West, but I think that kind of implies that we're like vigilantes, like bandits. Or like that we're like suffering, like we're just yeah. But variety feels like too professional to describe it. And then hodgepodge feels also unprofessional. So if you guys have an adjective, let me know. But yeah. like Colin said, there's wrestling stuff, non-wrestling stuff, a good time. So make sure when you're done here, first of all, like the video. If you're watching after we go live, comment on the video. I want to know your thoughts. Team Ospreay or Team Hangman.
Yeah.
And then go to the channel, go to the playlist tab, and explore. Find something you like. I love coexisting with Rob and Maggie. I say it every week. I love them. But you might like something else. I don't know. Go. You know what you like. Find it.
See, here's the thing. Into the Weeds starts when I am commuting. So sometimes I listen to it as a podcast, and they are talking about the most absurd things going on, Fast and the Furious rants, and then chaining it back to wrestling, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Into the weeds. They get into the weeds about things, and I love that about them. So if you love if you love going on tangents, this is the place, this is the channel for you.
Yeah, we're all like this is the thing. Every one of us. If you like this show, I have news for you.
If you've had fun. Yeah.
But every host on Fightful Overbooked is like this.
It's a blessing and the curse.
I cannot stress it enough. That's why we're over here, because we cannot be contained. If you watch, and you guys know, if you watch like Fightful proper, like Fightful main channel content, and then our content, wild. That's why I kept calling it the Wild West. But I feel like that has a negative connotation to it. I don't know. But anyway, subscribe to Fightful Overbooked is the message at the end of the day. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It took us 9 minutes to get through our final thoughts and plugs.
But that's okay.
It is okay. I respect it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I had such a blast. I'm so excited for Double or Nothing. I'll see you guys on Blue Sky. And next week. I'll see you next week too. Hopefully. Nobody die.
Yeah. Please be safe. Don't die.
Be safe. Don't die.
Yeah.
Wrestling Made Me Cry says be safe. Don't die. Period.
Yeah. Period.
Bye, guys.